Hello, welcome to the Mastercam course. In that lecture, we're gonna talk about how can we handle and that's kind of product actually in Mastercam. So we can also see that, and I created some product by using SolidWorks. Actually, we can also see the all my and wireframe is black right now because and there is no any and space to move from my and for my actually entities. So if I am deleting that distance, it means that I can change that position. So I can easily drag my and the pictures like this. So I need to turn back by using the undo button. So if you have that kind of distance here, so it means that this is fixed it, so I cannot change it. So that part is also quite important for SolidWorks part. And then I can hit that button, and then I'm gonna use the revolve options to get my actually and solid model. So actually this is my axis to rotate my and the profile here, and of course we can also and we need to also select our contour here. This is my contour actually. I can click like this. Okay, this is my axis and this is my contour profile. And we can also reactivate thin feature options and click OK button. So we are getting some error here. Okay, let me cancel that process. Let me enter the sketch in. And then we can turn to the features and revolve properties like this, and then I just need to select my axis. Okay, it must be some problem, but I cannot see any problem with, yeah, this is my axis and this is my profile. Actually everything seems fine. What's the matter? I don't know. Let me turn to my sketch here. I can use the exit sketch button and turn here. Maybe there must be some problem here. Okay, this is my mistakes. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, let's turn here and select my axis. It is active right now. Okay, let's click OK button. After that, I can save my file. And then I can create my part here. This is Lathe 3, maybe. And save my product here. After that, we can also use the Save As options. And then I can select some Parasolid file and save my file again. Okay, so after that we can turn to the Mastercam and use the file and open, and then I can click the computer here, and then I can click here to select my file type, and then this is my product. I can double click on it, and then we're gonna see in Mastercam. Okay, this is the X and Y axis. X and Y axis is true. So I just need to turn to machine, lathe and default lathe options. Okay, after that maybe we should turn to wireframe to be able to organize our stock. I can click here to create horizontal line. I can start from origin and reach at that point. Oops, sorry, we are and the ink system right now. Let me cancel that. And then I'm gonna turn back to my configuration, and then turn to the start exit options. This is my configuration. And then we can turn to metric unit here and accept that. And then we can turn to here, file, and maybe we should prefer to use actually merge options. And then we can select all part here and then select our part. So it is ready right now. Okay, and then let me click the line entities here and horizontal line. I can start from my origin and reach here. So my length can be and 55 millimeter, and then this is my and axis position can be 100 minus 50 here. Okay, this is horizontal, sorry, it must be vertical. I can start from here and reach here. It can be and 55 millimeters with minus 160, and maybe it can be minus 170. Okay, this line is enough. And then turn to the machine and lathe and default. After that I need to turn to properties and stock setup, properties, and make from 2 points. And then I can select that one and that one. Okay, it is created automatically like this. Okay, and then maybe we should change our and length width like this. Okay, let me turn to here, and then I'm gonna create some line to create my actually and face toolpath like this. And then I can use right mouse button, lathe toolpaths, and face toolpath, of course. Okay, this is gonna be my tool number 1. This is my feed rate actually, and I prefer to use constant cutting speed with that cutting speed, so I need to write my maximum spindle speed here. And then turn to the face parameters. So everything seems fine. I just need to click OK button. So that's it. This is my face toolpath. Okay. After that, maybe we should turn to the roughing process. To be able to create roughing process, we can also use right mouse button here, lathe toolpath and roughing. At that point, as you can see here, and solid silhouette, actually solid shadow may be created automatically. So I just need to turn here. I can start from here and here. Okay, and click OK button. So I'm gonna use the constant spindle speed. So I need to write my spindle speed here. Okay, this is not important because we are using the constant RPM, but you can also write here any and the values. It's not important. After that, I need to write my depth of cut here. My depth of cut can be 1 millimeter, or maybe you should calculate with 2, and then you can change it. So when I am turned to plunge parameters here, I can, and I don't want to plunge any pocket on the face, on the length. Okay. So this is my stock to leave on the x-axis, stock to leave on the z-axis. Okay, let me click here, and our toolpath and calculate it automatically like this. Okay, after that, when I am turned here, so we also cut on that area. So that's why maybe we should create some and silhouette boundary options. I click here and select my body, and then my silhouette boundary is calculated automatically like this. Okay, and at that point actually we can turn to the level options, or we can also use the right mouse button, and then we can click here and select our entities with end selection, and then we can also turn to the different level here. For example, level 2 can be activated, and we can move our solid model here. After that, when you in the operation page, in the operation page you can change, you can hit that levels button, and then you can unselect them. After that you can turn to the toolpath again. So this is my chain. Okay, everything seems fine, but we need to actually break that line to be able to create and good toolpath. So I can start from here with freeform, of course. I'm going to reach at that point. So after that, maybe we should turn to actually trim entities, and I can turn to the break options and one entities. This line I want to break by using that line. Okay, that's it. After that I can get rid of that line. So at that point, to be able to help and Mastercam, maybe we should also create some line like this. It can be 2 millimeters length. Okay, that's also enough for us. Okay, and maybe we should also make that stuff for that area. For example, I can click here, or there is another way to create some line. I can click here, and we can also use modify length options, and I can use the lengthen options here and the break. Maybe we should write here 5 millimeter and then click that line. So we can easily create line like this with the parallel with that line. After that I can turn back here, and we shouldn't delete our product. Anyway, I can also use that line. I can turn here, break one entities. Okay, I want to break that line by using that line. Okay, we can easily break that stuff like this. Of course, you can also see our stock to leave on the face and 2.2 millimeters, 0.2 millimeters. So that's why I can also need to use the modify length with maybe 5 millimeters like this. Of course, that will be better for us to make unselect and the break options. And then we're gonna create only one line here. Okay, maybe we should also extend until and that's line. It's also possible, I think, but this is not good for us. I just need to change that stuff, and with actually, sorry about that, I can change that with 1 millimeter, I think. Yes, that one is better. And then I can create that kind of line here. Okay, at that point I can also use entities. We can also turn to the trim, one trim. I can select this line with this line. Okay, it's ready right now. So by using that area, actually we can create our toolpath. I can turn here and Lathe toolpath. Okay, which toolpaths we can use actually, it's also important, and we can prefer to use normal rough. We can also use the contour rough here. We can also use the groove options. All of them is possible. Okay, let's try to use the groove here. So I prefer to use the chain options. You should remember that we have 5 options here. I prefer to use chain and click OK button, and then I need to select my chain. This is going to be my chain. Yes. And click OK button. And then let me create my toolpath. Okay. And this is tool, and I can select. For example, I prefer to use that one. The distance is important. This is the 6 mm, and the radius is also quite important. So I can select my feed rate, and I prefer to use constant cutting speed. It can be 120. And for the finishing process, we can change and our feed rate actually, or we can cancel it. And then if you select the constant cutting speed, you remember that we need to select our maximum spindle speed here. This is my direction. This is my cutting direction is correct. Okay, 90 degree. We can turn to the roughing parameters. In the roughing parameters, most of the time I prefer to use smooth options, so we can remove steps easily. And this is the stock to leave on the x-axis 0.2 and stock to leave on the z-axis 0.2. And this is going to be my step on the z-axis according to my tool width. I can prefer to use 60% of my and the distance. And this is clearance plane, can be 1 mm. And we can also select our cutting direction. My cutting direction can be positive side, can be negative side. I prefer to use the negative side options. Okay, so we can also change our first plunge feed rate here, but I don't want that, so I just need to write 0.1. So this is the finishing process. I don't want to create any finishing process here, so that's why we can cancel it and calculate our toolpath. So let me check my toolpath here by using the backlog simulation. So everything seems fine. Okay, and then let me create my finishing process. I can turn here and finishing process. I'm gonna start from that area and reach here, and we created some radius, and then I can keep going on that way because we break my line, so we can easily and keep going like this. This is the final line, final entities. And then I prefer to use that tool for finishing process and double click on it and change my radius. I prefer to use that feed rate with constant speed. My constant speed, cutting speed, can be 150, and my maximum spindle speed can be like this. And then finish parameters, I just need to one finish passes, so that part is not important. This is stock to leave 0 and stock to leave z-axis is also 0. And then I can also check my lead in. This is my lead in, and this is going to be my lead out process. And then plunge parameters is important. If I'm creating like this, so we cannot cut that area. So I need to turn back to my parameters and change my plunge parameters like this. And then we got it. Okay, and this is my product. And thank you for listening to me. I really appreciated your interest. If you have any question, don't hesitate to ask me question. Let me activate my solid model. Okay, take care. Don't hesitate to share that course with your friends. After that, we can easily be able to create our huge community to engineering stuff, solving the engineering and the problem. Thank you very much.